This week, governments from around the world are gathered at the United Nations General Assembly to discuss a number of important issues, among them the Sustainable Development Goals, what governments can do to achieve them, and how they can be financed. One of the solutions being discussed is Domestic Resource Mobilization, or DRM for short, whereby developing country governments commit to increase the taxes that they collect in order to finance an expansion in service delivery. This might sound easy on paper, but it constitutes an enormous challenge in practice, especially in places like Africa. This is where this little book comes in handy. Taxing Africa, Coercion, Reform and Development, co-written by Mick Moore, Wilson Pritchard and Odd Helge Fjellstadt, some of the most renowned scholars in the field of taxation and development, and published by Z Books last year, is a fairly short and easy read, but it packs a lot of information and ideas. It covers the history of taxation in Africa, from colonial rule to dependency on foreign aid and natural resources, and highlights the contradictions of current taxation regimes, on one hand shaped by pressure from international institutions like the IMF, and on the other by elites who have captured rents and often use them to maintain power at the expense of the rest of the population, often in collusion with multinationals. The authors explain how this has led to a system characterized by a divide between large taxpayers in formal urban settings and the small informal taxes paid by most Africans in rural areas, by unfair and regressive taxation, which exacerbates inequality and undermines state legitimacy and tax compliance, and by strong political resistance to reforms. What could be done to increase revenue collection in Africa in a more equitable manner is not a mystery, from promoting more and better taxation on personal incomes and property to reducing tax exemptions and addressing corruption. The real issue lies in overcoming resistance and mobilizing citizens for change, and getting them to rally together and pressure governments in favor of greater fairness, more transparency, and improved public engagement in taxation.